there.
As Bill's
Okay.
pulling up the charts. Okay, there we go. That was fast.
All right. So let's start with the good news. The good news is that Bitcoin isn't exactly trading like it's falling apart, right? It's kind of holding in. All right. So it's not like, oh my God. But this chart does show that in July of 2019 and July of 2018 that, you know, Bitcoin was either very choppy or it went down. Okay. So really not anything going on here that makes me say, wow, I love this. Ethereum is kind of the same way, right? It's sitting here around 220. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad. Where it looks bad is on our pricing prediction models. Okay. So let's see if we can go to that. Give me a moment while I switch to.
Okay, no worries.
Okay. So here comes Token Metrics. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the price prediction model for Bitcoin Cash. Okay. Now, I don't know. I have kind of a joke. Like, if you think something's going down, when in doubt, pick on Bitcoin Cash. It's not fair, but you know, it's just kind of how I do it. Right. So this is kind of showing that we're 3 days away from a move from 270 to 160.
Now,
Okay.
caveat though, however, right, to chime in here, the price prediction models are based purely on pricing data. So this is not looking at fundamentals, technology,
Right.
or anything else, just looking purely at the charts. And as usual, this is just a tool, but it's not the only tool in the toolbox, right? Because I know some people out there, some customers as well, who only look at price predictions. And I think that's a wrong approach to invest or trade. This is just merely a tool that should be a tool as part of your checklist. All right, go ahead, Bill.
Right. So this is a good point, right? I use this as like a tiebreaker. Like, I do my own work and then I say, okay, what does the computer say? Okay. So here's Ethereum. Okay. Not a very pretty picture. Okay. So here's how I would break this down. The seasonals are terrible. The price prediction models are terrible. Every day that Bitcoin can hang in there, I guess you could consider that a positive, considering there's a lot of things saying it should be an avalanche lower, right? However, given all these things, given the tiebreaker, especially with the AI, I just think you have to be careful, right? Now, let's go back to DeFi. Okay, and let's talk about that. All right. Now, when I'm looking at things like, okay, so here's Kyber. Okay. Now, we've done this talk where we've mentioned head and shoulders bottoms. We've written a lot about this in our newsletter. Okay. Kyber is one of these things where it's sort of broken out. So the formation has been triggered and it's done things to validate the formation, which is a nice way of saying that Kyber can moon the way AVE and Ren and some of these other markets did, some of these other coins, okay? Kava is kind of the same way. Kava is not as good as Kyber, but it's sort of getting there. So that's a nice way of saying that, you know, DeFi, the longer Bitcoin just sits here, it's a new day to take advantage of these trading opportunities in alts. Okay. I think that's how you do it, right? Because if you wake up and Bitcoin is not down, then you can trade alts, right? All right. Now, Zilliqua, right? We talked about this. We talked about, you know, this thing mooned. And then I said, okay, well, there's always a dip. Well, guess what? Zilliqua came back to its 50% retracement, which is a nice way of saying it had a healthy correction, okay, right to a very important level. So to the extent that you like these things, I know it's up 10% today, but I do think if Bitcoin is stable, you can trade these alts from the long side. you wake up and you see Bitcoin down 5%, hedge what you can and walk away.
All right. Well said. Well said. All right. Let us know what you think down in the comments below.